What if I told you that Minecraft has a secret update in the works, which will revamp weapons and tweak combat mechanics, all while completely changing the way we battle? And while this combat update 2.0 hasn't been officially added yet, it's clear that it's testing the waters for a much bigger overhaul of the entire combat system, with the potential to bring the biggest changes to combat we've seen in years. And with the update still in development, there's still a chance for it to add all sorts of new weapons and items which could forever change combat in Minecraft. Hey yo, I'm Creato, and today we're breaking down the Forgotten Secret Combat 2.0 update, as well as all of the different possible items and features that could get added in this potential update. So let's start with the changes that are already in the development update, which include changes to the reach distance of different weapons, as well as the speed different foods are consumed to regain health. And probably the most notable change is the way the weapons work, since this will affect the way all of the weapons are used and give some weapons an advantage over others. This means that the Trident has the longest reach of any weapon and can hit a mob located further away when compared to using a sword or any other weapon. This makes Tridents useful for combat against melee mobs like zombies or spiders. And bows also got a change too, since the arrows that are fired from a bow become less accurate the longer the bow is held. This is meant to encourage more fast-paced combat when against bows, which should help a bit to keep things moving in battle. And different foods were also changed to be able to be consumed faster, which means it takes less time to eat them and therefore less time to recover health. This change was done to liquid foods like mushroom stew and honey bottles, so that different types of foods can be used in battles to recover health even faster than with other foods. And even though all these changes are still in development, there is still a chance for it to be pushed even further, especially since the last major update also had a focus on combat and battle with new weapons. This means the next major update could follow in the same footsteps and bring in new weapons and combat mechanics that we've been waiting years for to finally bring in some much-needed action to the combat system. And this could, of course, start with some of the most simple yet effective features like adding in new weapons that have different uses and advantages over the other weapons. This would make it so that there are more choices for combat, and so that each weapon would have its own unique purpose in a situation. There could be something like a dagger added, which would be able to attack fast but have a short range. And then the sword would have slightly longer range and more damage than a dagger, while an axe would serve as the middle ground between the two. This would make the dagger a good option for close-range combat, since it would attack the fastest of all the weapons, and at close distance the short range wouldn't be an issue. Plus, a dagger would also have the cheapest crafting recipe, since it would only need one stick and one material item to be crafted. This would make a dagger really easy to get, which could help to make it more accessible than the other weapons. And the dagger would be able to perform best against a group of mobs at a close distance, since it would be able to quickly swipe away at the mobs much faster than any other weapon could. And there could also be more weapons added with further range compared to the existing weapons, which would give an option for melee combat at a slightly further distance. And this would be the spear, which would have the furthest reach distance of all the weapons, but has to be held with two hands, which means that the offhand can't be used while holding a spear. And a spear could be crafted with two sticks and one material item in a diagonal shape on the crafting table. This would still make the spear easy to get, since only one of the material item would be needed to craft it. And the spear would be best against mobs that aren't ranged and can't walk too fast, since the spear would be able to outreach them from a further distance while also preventing the mobs from being able to get any closer. Also, if you're enjoying the video, please make sure to leave a like and hit subscribe, as all your support really means a lot. So another area of combat that could be improved upon would be defending, which could mean the introduction of new shield types. This would make it so that shields could be crafted in different materials the same way as all the tools and weapons. And this would give more options when it comes to shields, since each material would be stronger and more durable than the previous type, which helps to bring shields up to level with the stronger materials. Plus, this would also give a new look to shields so that they could match with the same type of armor that you are wearing, while also giving more protection. And the shields made from the stronger materials would be able to block more damage while also having more durability compared to the shields made from the weaker materials. And this would of course also mean that shields would be able to be upgraded to netherite the same way as tools and armor, so that you can create a shield out of the strongest material. This would make the netherite shield the toughest of them all, while also having the bonus of being made from netherite, meaning it won't burn in lava or fire. And with the introduction of more shield variants, that could also mean more variants of the most popular weapon, being the sword, with new potion effects on them to deal more damage than ever before. This would bring swords in line with arrows, which also have potion-tipped variants, and would make swords much more customizable with all of the different enchantment and potion combinations that would be possible. And with something like a poison tip sword that would make it so that each mob that gets attacked also gets the poison effect, which will make them keep taking damage even after they are hit because of the poison effect doing its work on them. And with a healing tip sword, it would be great against the undead mobs like the zombies and skeletons, which means they would take extra damage from each hit since the healing effect actually causes damage to the undead mobs. And a slowness tip sword would be good against the mobs that move faster like spiders, since each hit will give them the slowness effect, which would make it much harder for them to move and give you the chance to escape or go in for another hit without putting yourself in too much risk. And with so many new weapon types, there would need to be a way to store the ones that take up the most space like arrows, so that you can carry around even more of them without having to sacrifice too much inventory space. This could bring in the introduction of the quiver, which would be a way to store all of your arrows in one place, while also offering a new use in combat as well. And a quiver would be very easy to craft, since it would only require a few common items to craft, with 3 pieces of leather and 3 pieces of string being able to craft a quiver. And the quiver would then be worn on your back, which not only makes you look really cool, but it also gives more utility with the extra storage space for arrows. And each quiver would be able to hold a maximum of 4 stacks of arrows, which would then allow you to also swap between them while crouched and holding a bow. This would make a quiver very useful in archery, since it allows you to change your arrows based on what you're attacking without having to open your inventory, which also has more space in it thanks to the quiver holding all of the arrows. And another way to make combat more accessible would be to update some combat-related items, like the potions and enchanted books, so that they would each have their own unique texture, making it easier to tell them apart at a glance. This would be as simple as giving all of the potions their unique texture, with the potion icons showing on the bottles, making it much more clear what the potion is. This would further encourage the use of potions in combat, since it would be much easier to know what each potion is, since the texture of each potion matches the effect status that is shown from each potion, while also giving a new look to all of the potions as well. And the same could also be done to the enchanted books as well, so that it would be easier to know which enchantment is on each book to allow you to more easily enchant all of your weapons and tools. This would make each enchantment easy to tell what it is at a glance, while also saving you time from having to scroll through lots of enchantments just to find the specific one you're looking for. And with potions and enchanted books being easier to use, it would also make sense to update another existing item to have better uses like the bundles, which could be able to throw out potions from them instead of dropping it on the ground. This would give bundles another use in combat, since they would be able to hold more potions in them, and also be able to throw them out, which turns bundles into 4 different potions in one that could all be fired out from the same inventory slot. This would be very useful for throwing multiple potions at a mob without having to scroll through your hotbar, since the bundle would be able to throw the potions instead of dropping them, and also hold up to 4 different potions in each bundle. Plus, this would also be useful on yourself with different potions that you can throw on yourself while running, so that you don't have to open your inventory and reach for more potions, which saves you that bit of time when you might be getting chased. And to further make even more of the existing items more useful, armor could be updated so that all of the armor trims on them would be glowing, which not only looks cool, but also stands out in the dark. This would mostly be a cosmetic change, but it would for sure make the armor trims look more intimidating, which might be the thing you need when facing another player who doesn't have armor trims. Plus, it would also give another reason to want to get armor trims, since it would be another way to customize the way your armor looks, which helps to make it feel that much more personal. And another change to armor could be to make it show on your hotbar, which would allow you to see what armor you're wearing, as well as the durability of each armor piece all without having to open your inventory. Plus, the little armor icons above your health bar would also change to match the color of your armor, which is another subtle touch that would further make it clear what material of armor you're wearing, while also giving you the extra info of the durability, which usually isn't shown unless you open your inventory. So what do you think of a potential combat update 2.0 in Minecraft? What sort of new weapons and mechanics do you want to see added? And what other ways do you think the combat experience can be improved? That's all for today. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe, and also comment Cool Combat Club if you made it this far. Thanks so much for watching.